Hey there, spiritual soldiers. It's your sister Dominique Valentine, and I'm back on Spiritually Spoken 1111 with a brand new video for you guys. So, guys, today I decided to come and make a video over here because I had to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions on the whole concept of how we attract what it is that we need to heal on the inside. And sometimes people get the wrong perception because they feel as though when people tell them that they trying to say that if they keep attracting bad people, it's that they're actually bad. That's not what it is. But what it is that you have to heal within what is actually attracting that person, because there is a such thing as prey and predator type energy. Okay, so when you're in a situation where you can continue to um perpetuate the same cycle over and over, most of the time it's because you're perpetuating the same behavior as well. So I'm going to give you guys an example because I experienced this with somebody that I've been following on Facebook for a long time and somebody that I've been looking up to. We actually have a lot in common. He's a Capricorn, but you know, Capricorn and Aquarius, even though we are very different, we are sister signs because we are right next to each other. You know, we going into Aquarius season now. Capricorn season is almost over with. But this particular person is very poetic and they're a brilliant writer, such as myself. They're a hopeless romantic, so they just may have Aquarius in their Venus or something to that extent, because I actually have Capricorn in my Venus. So maybe that's the reason why he and I may feel like we have a lot of similarities, even though we a different zodiac sign. So we experienced a lot of the same things in life: childhood traumas, a lifetime of heartbreaks, be it just being played by different people, and essentially, you know, going down a path of not understanding how and why we are not attracting the type of love that we want, even though we put out great, loving, romantic energy. We never find the type of people that reciprocate that type of energy. Okay, so the thing about him today is that he helps me really realize the level of ascension that I reached with my paradigm, because from the time that I met him to the time of today when I seen him post something, my views have totally shifted on what it is that he's doing and what it is and how it is that he continues to attract the same type of energies that he really wishes to repel. Okay, today I really noticed, and I really did make a post about it because I want to raise awareness on this, especially as it pertains to us and karma and divine timing and what it is that we are attracting in our life that we wish to repel. Um, and feeling as though we're not attracting that counterpart that's willing to reciprocate the energy that we actually willing to put into a relationship. So I feel like I had to actually go within to figure out that yes, I kept perpetuating the same cycle because I kept perpetuating the same behavior. And essentially, if you don't evolve, you repeat. So that's where I was standing in my own way energetically. Because I wasn't going within and finding that broken piece within myself, you know, from whatever childhood traumas I experienced to my first, second, and third love, add trauma onto that. I wasn't going within and healing that. I was deciding I'm going to be me and I'm still going to love the same way. I'm not going to let anybody discourage you, which is true. You shouldn't allow people to discourage you to love in a deep and loving way. But understand what it is in you, what toxic traits you carry that may be attracting somebody that's like the counter toxicity to what your toxic trait is. So what my toxic trait has always been is codependency. So I become very attached to my partners, and no matter how toxic the relationship is, we continue to perpetuate a cycle of makeup, breakup, fighting, any some type of abuse. Every single relationship that I've been in has contained some type of abuse, whether it was mental, physical, emotional, sometimes even sexual abuse. So that was the thing. It was like the type of energy that I was exuding was the type that was inviting to an abuser. Okay, so I exuded a lot of self confidence issues, a lack of self-esteem, a lot of things that will attract somebody that would tend to want to prey on somebody that have those qualities, and it's because it will work in their benefit. So I'm gonna get back to the story about this guy and how I relate to him on so many levels, but how he still like how we was on the same level for so long, but how he is stagnating his own self, his own growth, but essentially blaming it on everybody that's coming into his energy. And by no means am I being unsensitive or insensitive to anybody who's experiencing a heartbreak at this time, or who has experienced multiple heartbreaks. Because again, I can relate on so many levels. But at some point, you have to realize that the healing that you need to find is within. It's not really in griping about your undesired love issues for the world to see. It's not for you to sit and fantasize and lay out this whole platter of what things you would do if you would just find the one that would do the same thing for you, or that would give you the type of love that you want. Because you have to understand that you will attract people that will pretend to be that person just to get the benefits that you say that you will lay out on the platter for them. Okay? So, first, following this guy, like I said, he's a brilliant writer. He's very poetically spoken, which attracts me to him. Not in any kind of way. I never felt in a type of connection like I would try to talk to him or be with him in any type of way. If anything, he seems like he would be more of a brother of mine. It's like, wow, we got so many of the same qualities. Like we was born from the same person, but we were just born of the same traits. So he did a lot of expressing about his past, his childhood wounds, his disappointed love situations, and I have done the same. So I used to read and comment just like everybody else and patronize him and say, tell him what it is that he deserved as opposed to what it is that he's been receiving, and just doing a lot of that. And finally, about a year ago, he got into a relationship that he displayed as a very loving relationship, one that he displayed as his dream relationship, and I was ecstatic, like many of his followers are, which most of us are women. We were very ecstatic and congratulating him and telling him how much he deserved this, because he'd been waiting so long to have a reciprocating type of love. And he was posting all of these nice things about her. And guys, I'm nothing of the sense of a hater when it comes to love. Not only do I have like every last aspect of water in my chart, from a Pisces cusp to a Cancer moon to a Scorpio rising, and probably water in other placements in my chart, but just speaking on the personal ones, the holy Trinity or whatever. But literally, I could tell that it wasn't a real connection, like especially with the overinflation. And I've been there as well. I've overinflated my relationship despite its problems, because I wanted to exude this fairy tale type of love that people can admire, so that they would comment nice things like, wow, make sure you invite me to the wedding. I hear wedding bells. Let me know when you guys are walking down the aisle. And I would love that. And I would feed off of that. And it was great. It was amazing to receive such positive feedback after so many failed relationships. And so, honestly, I followed the crowd because, again, I want people to be happy and I want people to find love. So essentially, when he was posting these nice things about his brand new partner, I was just ecstatic. But then I could quickly tell, like, okay, yes, the overinflation is definitely a sign. Even though I want happiness for people, but it's certain things that's a psychological telltale. Okay, guys, and overinflation in your relationship is definitely one of them. And again, it's because I have done the same thing. So it's not from a point of view of judgment at all. It's definitely from a point of view of I can relate. So I started to notice, in addition to that, like I said, empathically, I didn't feel the connection. Empathically, psychically, clairsentiently, whatever you want to call it, I did not feel the connection when I looked at their photo. And I am the type of person that can feel that love, feel the butterflies. My heart will palpitate because I can pick up people's energy in that sense, especially when it's strong, like brand new love that's untainted. And you know, the type of love that he was displaying verbally or virtually on the internet. So I didn't pay it much attention, but I'm like, you know, behind the scenes, like, you're not going to investigate, but you know, you see something and you just kind of like, all right, it's not what it seems. But you know, and I can tell that psychologically, because he's perpetuating the same thing that I did, overinflating your relationship when you know it's not perfect. So it was crazy because last week I got on the internet, and I don't get on there often. Like, I may scroll once a week up and down Facebook, but it's rare, and sometimes I go weeks or a month without doing so. But I saw that they broke up, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't really surprised, but I kind of was, because after all the patronizing that he did to the relationship, I would have just thought that he would have just silently broke away from it and like moved on. But he literally wrote like a mini story on every negative thing that she did and how she made him say those nice things about her, which I sensed. Or that he just did it because he wanted to look good, or whatever the case was. But she asked him to post things. She told him what to say. She borrowed money that she didn't give back. It was a lot. And of course, he put the disclaimer because he wants people to view him, or continue to view him, as this romantic, can do nothing wrong type of guy. So of course he puts the disclaimer that, oh, I'm only putting this in hopes that it helps someone else. And I was pretty shocked, and I read through the comments, and a lot of ladies was patronizing him like they would have been back in the days before they got to him and old girl got together or whatever. So I didn't do that. I chose to give him some real advice and tell him that it's time to go within if you continue to attract the same type of partner in a different body. And how I know this is because I went within myself, and I wrote, I didn't go over lengthy with it, but it was a pretty lengthy comment. But so was everybody else that was basically saying the same shit, which he happily gave a love. You know how Facebook, you can like love, blah, blah, blah. Well, he happily gave love hearts to everybody else, but he completely overlooked my advice, which let me know that I overly insert myself. And then I digress. Like, okay, well, my